morning. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we are going to be in Numbers chapter 14, verse 1, through chapter 15, verse 16. Okay, we're continuing after the spies scouted out the land of Israel and brought back a majority bad report. Then all the community raised a loud cry, and the people wept that night. And all the Israelites murmured against Moses and Aaron, and the whole congregation said to them, "If only we had died in the land of Egypt, or if only we had perished in this wilderness. Why has the Lord brought us into this land, only to be killed by the sword, that our wives and our children should become plunder? Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt?" So they said to one another, "Let's appoint a leader and return to Egypt." And then Moses and Aaron fell down with their faces to the ground before the whole assembled community of the Israelites. And Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, two of those who had investigated the land, tore their garments. They said to the whole community of the Israelites, "The land we passed through to investigate is an exceedingly good land. If the Lord delights in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land that is flowing with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not fear the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their protection has turned aside from them, but the Lord is with us. Do not fear them." However, the whole community threatened to stone them. But the glory of the Lord appeared to all the Israelites at the tent of meeting. The Lord said to Moses, "How long will this people despise me? And how long will they not believe in me, in spite of the signs that I've done among them? I will strike them with pestilence, and I will disinherit them, and I will make you into a nation that is greater and mightier than they." Moses said to the Lord, "When the Egyptians hear it, for you brought up this people by your power from among them, then they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land. They have heard that you, Lord, are among this people, that you, Lord, are seen face to face, that your cloud stands over them, and that you go before them by day in a pillar of cloud and in a pillar of fire by night. If you kill this entire people at once, then the nations that have heard of your fame will say, 'Because the Lord was not able to bring this people into the land that he swore to them, he killed them in the wilderness. So now let the power of my Lord be great, just as you have said. The Lord is slow to anger and abounding in loyal love, forgiving iniquity and transgression, but by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children until the third and fourth generation. Please forgive the iniquity of this people according to your great loyal love, just as you have forgiven this people from Egypt even until now.' Then the Lord said, 'I have forgiven them as you asked, but truly, as I live, all the earth will be filled with the glory of the Lord. For all the people have seen my glory and my signs that I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and yet have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not obeyed me. They will by no means see the land that I swore to their fathers, nor will any of them who despised me see it. Only my servant Caleb, because he had a different spirit and has followed me fully, I will bring him into the land where he had gone, and his descendants will possess it. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites were living in the valleys. Tomorrow turn and journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea.' The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, 'How long must I bear with this evil congregation that murmurs against me? I have heard the complaints of the Israelites that they murmured against me. Say to them, "As I live, says the Lord, I will surely do to you just what you have spoken in my hearing. Your dead bodies will fall in this wilderness, all those of you who were numbered, according to your full number, from 20 years old and upward, who have murmured against me. You will by no means enter into the land where I swore to settle you. The only exceptions are Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. But I will bring in your little ones, whom you said would become victims of war, and they will enjoy the land that you have despised. But as for you, your dead bodies will fall in this wilderness, and your children will wander in the wilderness 40 years and suffer for your unfaithfulness, until your dead bodies lie finished in the wilderness. According to the number of the days you have investigated this land, 40 days, 1 day for a year, you will suffer for your iniquities. 40 years, and you will know what it means to thwart me. I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do so to all this evil congregation that is gathered together against me in this wilderness. They will be finished, and there they will die. The men whom Moses sent to investigate the land who returned and made the whole community murmur against him by producing an evil report about the land. Those men who produced the evil report about the land died by the plague before the Lord. But Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, who were among the men who went to investigate the land, lived. When Moses told these things to all the Israelites, the people mourned greatly, and early in the morning they went up to the crest of the hill country, saying, "Here we are, and we will go up to the place that the Lord commanded, for we have sinned." But Moses said, "Why are you now transgressing the commandment of the Lord? It will not succeed. Do not go up, for the Lord is not among you, and you will be defeated among your enemies. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and you will fall by the sword. Because you have turned away from the Lord will not be with you." But they dared to go up to the crest of the hill, although neither the ark of the covenant of the Lord nor Moses departed from the camp. So the Amalekites and the Canaanites who lived in that hill country swooped down and attacked them as far as Hormah. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and tell them, when you enter the land where you are to live, which I am giving you, and you make an offering by fire to the Lord, from the herd or from the flock, whether a burnt offering or sacrifice for discharging a vow, or as a free will offering, or in your solemn feasts, to create a pleasing aroma to the Lord, then the one who presents his offering to the Lord must bring a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of finely ground flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of olive oil. You must also prepare 1/4 of a hin of wine for a drink offering, with the burnt offering, or the sacrifice for each lamb. Or for a ram you must prepare as a grain offering 2/10 of an ephah of finely ground flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of olive oil. And for a drink offering you must offer 1/3 of a hin of wine as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. And when you prepare a young bull as a burnt offering, or a sacrifice for discharging a vow, or as a peace offering to the Lord, then a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of finely ground flour mixed with half a hin of olive oil must be presented with the young bull, and you must present as the drink offering half a hin of wine with the fire offering as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. This is what is to be done for each ox, or each ram, or each of the male lambs, or the goats. You must do so for each one according to the number that you prepare. Every native-born person must do these things in this way to present an offering made by fire as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. If a resident foreigner is living with you, or whoever is among you in future generations, and prepares an offering made by fire as a pleasing aroma to the Lord, he must do it the same way you are to do it. One statute must apply to you who belong to the congregation, and to the resident foreigner who is living among you, as a permanent statute for your future generations. You and the resident foreigner will be alike before the Lord. One law and one custom must apply to you and to the resident foreigner who lives alongside you. Okay. Wild passage. It's intriguing to me. The Lord mentions that they murmured against him 10 times. It'd be interesting going back and counting them all, I suppose. See what the Lord counted as murmuring. I suppose murmuring. Let's see here. Well, let's just continue on. Mark chapter 14, verse 53 through verse 72. Then they led Jesus to the high priest, and all the chief priests and the elders and experts in the law came together. And Peter had followed him from a distance up to the high priest's courtyard. He was sitting with the guards and warming himself by the fire. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death, but they did not find anything. Many gave false testimonies against him, but their testimony did not agree. Some stood up and gave this false testimony against him. We heard him say, I will destroy this temple made with hands, and in 3 days build another not made with hands. Yet even on this point their testimony did not agree. Then the high priest stood up before them and asked Jesus, Have you no answer? What is this that they are testifying against you? But he was silent and did not answer. Again the high priest questioned him, Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One? I am, said Jesus, and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power, and coming with the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest tore his clothes and said, Why do we still need witnesses? You have heard the blasphemy. What is your verdict? They all condemned him as deserving death. Then some began to spit on him, and to blindfold him, and to strike him with their fists, saying, Prophesy. The guards also took him, and beat him. Now, while Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the high priest's slave girls came by. When she saw Peter warming himself, she looked directly at him and said, You also were with that Nazarene Jesus. But he denied it. I don't even understand what you're talking about. Then he went out to the gateway, and a rooster crowed. When the slave girl saw him, she began again to say to the bystanders, This man is one of them. But he denied it again. A short time later, the bystanders again said to Peter, You must be one of them, because you are also a Galilean. Then he began to curse, and he swore with an oath, I do not know this man that you are talking about. Immediately a rooster crowed a second time. Then Peter remembered what Jesus had said to him, Before a rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. And he broke down and wept. Yeah, and here we have the culmination of all of the evidence that was presented in Mark from the high priest's lips in Mark 14:61. Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One? And here we get the answer. In 62, I am, said Jesus, and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power and coming with the clouds of heaven. Yeah, so there was this Jewish custom not to try as hard as possible not to take the word of God's name, that is Yahweh, in vain, and so they would just never say it. And one of the substitute names that they would call him is the Blessed One. So he's asking essentially, are you the Son of God? Are you the Son of Yahweh? Also, the Sanhedrin is the governing authority of priests, I guess. Kind of like a mini Congress, as it were. But definitely the ruling power of the day, as far as Jews were concerned. You've still had the Romans above them. But they didn't have the ability to sentence anyone to death. They needed to take him to an actual Roman authority to get that done. Also notably, the penalty for blasphemy is not death. In Leviticus and Numbers, I suppose, the high priest sentences him to death simply for the audacity to claim equality with God. So it's kind of boggling to me that anybody can claim that Mark has a low Christology, that is, a low divinity of Jesus, when you have the answer right here. Okay, carrying on. Psalm 53, verses 1 through 6. For the choir director, according to Mahalath, a maskil of David. Fools say to themselves, there is no God. They sin and commit evil deeds. None of them does what is right. God looks down from heaven at the human race to see if there is anyone who is wise and seeks God. Everyone rejects God. They are all morally corrupt. None of them does what is right, not even one. All those who behave wickedly do not understand, those who devour my people as if they were eating bread and do not call out to God. They are absolutely terrified, even by things that do not normally cause fear. For God annihilates those who attack you. You are able to humiliate them because God has rejected them. I wish the deliverance of Israel would come from Zion. When God restores the well-being of his people, may Jacob rejoice, may Israel be happy. Yeah. And finally, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 4. Yeah, 4. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the unfaithful destroys them. That's verse 3. Wealth does not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from mortal danger. So, contrary to what it said before in general terms, where the money of a wealthy man is like a fortified tower, still, in the day of wrath, that is, when things are coming to blows in a severe way, wealth doesn't profit, as people just take it from you. So, righteousness is more profitable. Okay, well, thank you for joining me today. Hope you have a great day. Bye.